Now we will study regarding the significance of mountains. Mountains are very much important in our life. So how mountains are important in our life, we will study here. Significance of mountains. Mountains are rich source of water for rivers. As we already studied in the characteristic that mountains are storehouse of glaciers, and these glaciers, they are the source of water for the rivers that come down from mountains. So mountains are the rich source of water for rivers. They provide different building material. They provide us rocks, stones, and these are the building material. They are the natural home of various wild animals. The mountains are also famous as the tourist destinations. The mountains, usually the people from plain areas, they go to mountains during summer vacation, because these mountains, they are very good, very beautiful tourist destinations, and because of their moderate climate, as we have already studied, mountains have moderate climate. So during summer vacations, people usually go to mountains to enjoy the moderate weather. The mountains are the great source of oxygen, and they are indirectly helpful in bringing rain. So the mountains, since they are very rich in forests, the mountains have very dense forests, so that is why the mountains are great source of oxygen, and because of these forests, the mountains also helps in bringing rain. Many precious stones like diamonds, rubies, etc. are found in the mountains, because mountains are also the storehouse of minerals. So now we will see this, discuss the following. The mountains are the young fold mountain. The Himalayas are the young fold mountain. Urals and Aravallis are the examples of old fold mountains. Here other examples are also there. You can write those examples also. Here many examples are there. Urals, Appalachians, Tian Shan, Aravallis. So many examples are there. Any two of your choice you can write down. Dash is a block mountain. Again here many examples are there. Black Forest, Vosges Mountains, Sierra Nevada, then Salt Range. So any one of your choice you can write down. Dash process is responsible for the formation of block mountains, faulting. Dash is a young fold mountain of North America, Rockies. Dash is considered to be one of the old mountains of the Earth's surface, Aravallis of India. Mount Kilimanjaro is an example of Dash mountain, volcanic mountain. So here we finished our discuss the following. Now we will see what are valleys. We will study regarding valleys. So already I have told you, during that anticline and syncline, the raised part is the peak or the mountain, and the syncline part is the valley. So we will study about this part, that is valley. Valleys, an elongated narrow depression between the mountains, is known as a valley. The depression, this is a depression. This is a depression in between mountains. This is one mountain, this is another mountain. So this depression in between the mountain, it is called the valley. So an elongated narrow depression between the mountains is known as a valley. It is like a long and deep relief feature. We already saw that this depression is very long and deep. Here pictures are there of valleys. You can see here this type of, these are very deep. These are very deep one. This is a kind of valley. This is another kind of valley. We can see in the picture these valleys are so deep. So it is a long and deep relief feature. The valleys are formed due to the erosional work of a river. So usually rivers run through these valleys, eroding them gradually. So these are the valleys where rivers run. We can see here the rivers, they run and they go on eroding the valley, and that is why the valleys become more and more deeper. It is not like that the valleys are this much deep only and it will stay as it is. No, it will not stay as it is. The erosional action of the river, it goes on eroding the valleys gradually. So the valleys become deeper and deeper. Valleys are of many types like V-shaped valley, gorge, canyon, etc. So valleys, they are of many types. These are the types of valleys. V-shaped valley, here you can see the example V-shaped valley. The gorge, here you can see gorge. This is an example of gorge. Then here this is the example, this is a canyon. This picture, it shows a canyon valley. So these are the various types of valleys. V-shaped valley looks like an alphabet V. So why we say this V-shaped valley as V? Because it is looking like alphabet V. So that is why it is called a V-shaped valley. Now we will study the difference between a canyon and a gorge. A canyon is a deep valley with very steep sides, while a gorge is a deep ravine with rivers flowing through it or without a river. So a canyon, it is a very deep valley with very steep sides. The sides are very steep. Here we can see these sides are not very steep. These are slopy sides. But here in this canyon we can see the sides are very steep, straight, completely straight. They are not slopy, they are not gentle, they are very steep sided. And a gorge is a very deep ravine. We can see the gorge, it is a very deep ravine, and with a river, either in gorges, either the river flows or it does not flow. So that is why it is written river flowing through it or without a river. The gorge is always steeper and narrower than the canyon. So the gorges, they are very steeper, but canyons, they are not so steeper. So this is the difference between gorge and canyon. Gorges, they are steeper and narrow, and canyons steeper and narrower than the canyon. Canyon, they are not so much steeper and narrower. Canyons are eye-shaped valley. Canyons are also called eye-shaped valley because it looks like an alphabet I. Now we will see the characteristics of a valley. Valleys are the result of the erosional work of rivers. Already we studied here that the rivers, they go on eroding the valley, making it deeper and deeper. They are found in mountain areas. Obviously valleys, they are found in mountain areas because these valleys are the depressions of the mountains. The anticline portion forms the mountain and the syncline forms the valley. So these are found in the mountain areas. They are deep and narrow. Valleys are famous as the tourist destinations. Like mountains are famous for tourist destinations, similarly valleys are also famous for tourist destination. Here one example of valley is given, Kashmir Valley of India. It is a very beautiful and world famous valley, also known as a heaven on earth. It is also known as a heaven on earth, the Kashmir Valley of India. Now we will study this. Let's inquire. Mountain range. The definition of mountain range. It is a linear system of mountains and hills having a number of peaks. Linear system, as I have already shown you, this is the linear system. Three parallel ranges. Linear system of mountains and hills having a number of peaks, summits and valleys. So these together we will say it as a mountain range. It is not like that this is one mountain. This is suppose this is one mountain range, this is another mountain range. No, these are the linear systems, and this together we will say as mountain range. The mountain chain, it has several long and narrow parallel mountain ranges. So many this kind of range, and these parallel mountain ranges and several long mountains, together we will say them as mountain chain. Then a mountain system, a group of several mountain ranges. So these mountain ranges, mountain chain, together we will put down as a mountain system. Then cordillera, what is a cordillera? It refers to several mountain groups and system. So this kind of several mountain systems, many mountain systems together is known as cordillera. Like many range and chains together, they are called mountain system. Similarly, many systems together is known as cordillera, a group of mountains. Example of a cordillera is given, the Western Cordillera in North America. Then plains. Characteristics of a plain. So plains are low-lying flat stretches of land. Plains are the plain areas. We have the low-lying flat stretches of land. They are not more than 200 meters above the mean sea level. So the height or the altitude of plains are not more than 200 meters above the mean sea level. Any kind of landform is the height or the altitude of any kind of landform is measured from the sea level, mean sea level. This mean sea level is actually the surface of the sea. From that surface of the sea, any kind of landform's altitude is measured. So if we say the mountain, the altitude of a mountain is suppose 1000 meter, that means its altitude from the sea level till its peak is 1000 meter. So any kind of landform is measured from this mean sea level, that is from the surface of the water, not from deep inside the sea, but from the surface of the water. So the plains, they are 200 meter above the mean sea level. So that is why they are called plains, because they don't have much altitude. Now we will study how plains are formed. The plains are usually formed by the deposition of silt and sediments brought down by the rivers and their tributaries. So the rivers and the tributaries are the small rivers that join a big river. join the main river. So this is the main river, this is the main river, and these are the small rivers, they are joining the this main river. These are the tributaries, the small streams or small rivers, they are the tributaries. So these tributaries and the river, when they flow down from the mountains, they bring with them the silt and sediments. The silt and sediments are the materials, the rock materials or the sand materials. So these are the materials that are brought down by these rivers, and when they come down from the mountain they go on depositing these silt and sediments, leading to the formation of plains. This deposition day after day gradually leads to the formation of plains. The plains can be extremely flat or slightly rolling. So the plains can be either very flat or they can be rolling like this. Rolling plains. It is not like a mountain. They are not so high like mountains, but just a little raised one. Like in deserts we see the sand dunes. So those sand dunes, they are not the sand dunes, they are we cannot say them as mountains, but yes, they are rolling. So these are the rolling plains. They are not very much raised, but at least that particular place is not plain also, like it's not flat also. So that is why we don't say them as flat plains, but they are the rolling plains. So the plains can be flat also, the plains can be rolling also. Most of the plains are very fertile and useful for agricultural activities. Since the plains are formed because of the deposition of these silt and sediments, this silt and sediments makes the plain very fertile, and that is why the plains are very much useful for agricultural activities. So here there are the examples of some plains of the world given. In India we have northern plains, Africa Nile Valley plains, China Yangtze plains, North America Prairies plains, South America Pampas plains, Australia Downs plains, Italy Lombardy plains, and Africa we have Veld. So these are the plains that are found in various countries or continents. Now we will study the importance of plains. The plains provide fertile soil, as we already studied here. The silt and sediments, they are deposited to form plains, and these are very fertile soil. So the plains provide us very fertile soil. Therefore, they are useful for agricultural activities. Their climate is suitable for human settlement. It is not very hot, neither very cold. So that is why it is very much good for human settlement, and that is why the civilizations, the old civilizations, the ancient civilizations, they settled in these plain areas because of its suitable climate. The plains are flat, that makes the construction of transport network easy. The plains, they are flat, so that is why any kind of transport construction, like you can say road, railways, so these are very easily constructed on plains. Now we will study regarding plateaus. Characteristics of plateaus. Plateaus are the highlands with a broad and more or less flat surface. So these plateaus, they are the highlands, not so high like mountains, but at least a little bit raised from the surrounding area. So these are the highlands with a broad and a more or less flat surface. So it is kind of broad like this, broad, not so high like it is this kind of broad. So it is not so high like mountain, but it is at least little bit raised from the surrounding area. So plateaus are highlands with a broad and more or less flat surface. Due to the flat topped, here I have already shown the flat topped, this is the flat topped. These landforms are also known as tableland. Their height varies from a few hundred meters to 1000 meters. This is a variation in height. Plateaus generally have steep slopes on both sides. Steep is a very immediately raised area. So plateaus generally have steep slopes on both sides, but a few plateaus have steep slopes on one side and gentle slopes on the other. Usually plateaus, they have like this kind of steep slopes. This is steep slope, this particular steep slope. But there are also many plateaus, some plateaus which have steep slope on one side and gentle on another, this kind of feature. So they have steep slopes on one side and gentler slope on the other. Then distribution of plateaus, these are some examples of plateaus of the world. India has Deccan Plateau, East African Plateau in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, Western Plateau of Australia, Tibet Plateau of China, Central Siberian Plateau of Russia, Mongolian Plateau of Mongolia, Bai Plateau of Africa, Plateau of Spain of Europe, Colorado Plateau of North America, Bolivian Plateau of South America. These were the examples of some plateaus. Then importance of plateaus. How plateaus are important for us? Plateaus are rich in mineral deposits. Many of the mining areas in the world, mining areas are the areas where deep holes are dug inside the earth to bring out the minerals or to extract the minerals. So these mining areas in the world are usually located in plateau areas because plateaus are rich in mineral deposits. Plateaus are famous as places of tourist destinations. Again, plateaus like mountains and valleys. Plateaus are also famous for tourist destinations. When the rivers fall down from the high plateaus, they form waterfalls. So as we have already studied that the plateaus have this kind of steep slopes. So when the rivers they fall from these steep slopes, they lead to the formation of waterfall. And this waterfall is very much necessary because it helps us in generating hydroelectricity, that is electricity from falling water. Some plateaus are formed by the volcanic activities. Such plateaus are the great source of black soil. Like in India, we have Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is rich in black soil because it is a volcanic plateau. It is formed by the volcanic activities. So the plateaus which are formed by volcanic activities, such plateaus are rich source of black soil. And black soil is very much useful for cotton cultivation. Black soil is very much useful. It is very highly useful for cotton cultivation, and that is why black soil is also known as black cotton soil. Now we will see discuss the following over here. A deep valley with very steep sides is termed as canyon. The plains provide fertile soils. Dash is known as the heaven of earth, Kashmir Valley. Nile Valley plains are found in Africa. Dash is also called a tableland plateau.